Welcome everybody. I went to the famous Amin torture chambers. It's right behind me in that gate that you can see behind the road going right there. And I went there to hear for myself what the tour guide was lying to tourists in order to fleece them of their money. So I paid for my ticket and was assigned the tour guide who would take me across the entire premises, explaining to me the history associated with each particular location in the compound. Of course, I already knew the history, but I never interjected and let the guide speak without knowing who I was. I didn't want him to change his narrative according to who he had in front of him, since I am the son to the person that he was accusing of torture and murder. So I just wanted to hear what he was telling the tourists. For the record, the true history of that location, the torture chamber location, which you're going to see in this video, is that this is where the Iddi Amin government began. Basically, this is where the coup was launched from. But somehow, it is now being branded as a torture chamber. Let's take a look.
It was like a project was built by the Israelis.
Yes.
Just because they were good
Yes.
at building underground tunnels and the banks.
Exactly.
It was built in 1970s
Yes.
as an armory,
Yeah.
but later it turned to be a torture chamber.
Okay.
That lasted for only 8 months.
Yes, yes, yes.
This came to be that just because Iddi Amin Dada
Yes.
was told that his former boss,
Yeah.
Obote, was busy in Tanzania organizing some groups of people to come back and attack him.
Yes.
So then he tried to go around Kampala and its suburbs, getting Obote's supporters or his political enemies. They could get these people, blindfold them, tie their arms back. They could put them into saloon car boots, and then they could drive them alongside Kampala for about 6 to 7 times. So by the time they reach this place, they would think they are very far away from Kampala. So they could bring here and then put them into these cells as we are going to see. So
And it had the yes, he's clearing it.
trying to clear some bushes around.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. So this place had an entirely gate
Yes,
to ensure that no one could escape.
yes,
As you see,
yes.
these are the metals. It had an entirely gate to ensure that no one could escape from this place.
Yes.
It also had electrified water,
Okay.
as evidenced by this cable here.
Yes.
So it had electrified water where they used to dump these people as they were extracting information from them.
Okay,
So they could keep on switching it on and off.
Yes.
As a way of extracting information from these people here. So they would ask, what do you know about water? What do you know about water, you see? So this was the level of water which was electrified. Others were squeezed into these cells, which acted as prisons. These cells had a sliding door that covered the place to ensure no one could escape. So, a lot of people were squeezed in these cells, yet these cells are poorly ventilated, as you see. So, some people suffocated and then starved to death. There are several markings on the walls. For example, there is that of Obote, or when it says Obote on this side, but what Nayabana, which means Obote, you killed him, but what about my children? Why Obote is because in 1980, after Obote had taken over the government of Uganda, that is Obote to now, he was told that his political supporters were killed within this place here. So as a way of making a revenge, he did the same thing. He also moved around, capturing Amin's supporters. They were also brought here and were also killed in the same way. That's why you see that mark of what of this section. Which says it is on the other wall. What on this it is in Uganda, but it simply means what on this like what you've killed me, but what about my children? Yes. So these are the 5 cells acting as prisons for these people that you brought in here. Most of the people who were killed in this place, we had the intellectuals, economists, villagers, lawyers, people who had influence in politics. They are only people who were killed within this place. Children and ladies, for them were not killed just because they never had any influence in politics. They are only people who were more influential in politics. There is another man here which says, I'll never forget my husband who was killed by people of Obote. Yes. This was who I spoken back, and then we had this story. I put this marking for remembrance.
With I see they have put a date even.
Yes.
When
no, not all markings were those of were for those people.
Yeah, this is someone who came who remembered his people.
Yes.
Yes.
Even we get some other toys who come like the schools.
Yes.
People may come with markers and then they have to write on the walls.
Yes. That's fantastic.
So according to the book, The Last King of Scotland, it indicates that about 300,000 people were killed within this place for a period of 8 years. And that was Obote and Iddi Amin. So that history creates that story creates a dark history of this place because of the many people who were killed within this place here. It is believed that during nights they used to bring lorries around and they could load on these bodies. They moved around Kampala and dumped these bodies around in water bodies around Kampala. Yeah, so a lot of people were killed and they believe no one left this place when he was still alive. Most of them were brought here, were all killed by that period. Yes.
This is really what I wanted to come and see.
You wanted to come and see this?
Yes. This place here. I've been hearing about it. I've been seeing. Yes. I've been seeing it.
For the Israelites, for them, their plan was, they had a plan of, okay, it was like an armor, like I told you, that a car would come and then back a little here, and then they would offload the guns and the gunpowder in these cells.
Yes.
But these later had to be like prisons. People were killed in this place here.
Thank you very much. This is really great.
Okay.
This is what I wanted to come and see.
This is what I wanted to come and see.
It's really a nice place.
So
and I think they built it very solid because it was the constructor did they did a very solid. This is if this is a building from around 1960s there.
1970s.
Yes.
1970s.
Okay. That is great.
It was built in 1971.
Yeah. And so there are students who also come around?
Yes, students come.
Yes.
Students come and get to around, even other people.
Yes.
We have different visitors from different countries.
Yes.
So we get them again. here the history.
Yeah, yeah.
The history about this place here. We call it that history.
That's it.
Yes.
So I think there now we can. Thank you very much for this. This is what I wanted to see. Yes. So as you have seen, the tour guide was providing a skewed version of history for the purpose of attracting tourists. According to OpenAI, this is a common tactic used by some tour operators to gain a profit, and that is why it is important to verify historical facts from the real source. So I'll be putting a link to the true history about this location from the person who was there. I remember it as the famous armory where the Amin government began. This is where military officers broke down the door of this armory using an armored personnel carrier, an APC. Then they picked weapons and ammunition from inside and launched a fight for survival that would end up being a coup against the sitting president Apollo Milton Obote in 25th January 1971. Mind you, Obote had ordered one Captain Oito Jok to start the purge of the army, where only Obote's fellow tribesmates would remain in control of the military and the civil service of the government. Everyone else who wasn't from their ethnicity was to be disarmed and purged out of the government and the military, and that is what was taking place particularly in this specific barracks. So the officers who had been detained in the purge broke out from detention on the night of 23rd January 1971. They managed to get one armored personnel carrier started. They headed straight for the armory, and the rest is the rest is history, as they say. It is worth noting that the historical context and information provided by tour guides can be influenced by the country's current political situation and the government's perspective on past events. So it's always good to gather information from multiple sources and verify without omitting any of the sources. Additionally, it's not common for historical sites to be repurposed for different uses over time. So it's important to keep that in mind whenever you visit any such historic sites. In general, it is important to approach historical sites and information with a critical eye and to seek out multiple perspectives in order to gain a well-rounded understanding of the past while avoiding disinformation and propaganda. Thank you.